Alright guys, welcome back. This is going to be my attempt at a guide for Alliance Quest Map 5. And I'm running day 5, so you can, just see some gameplay of the last day of AQ in the background. Now, the symbioids, or like the generic characters on Map 5, rotate between adaptoids, Ultron drones, or the symbioids, and like the Doombots. So they rotate every week. So you can always go and check one of these charts. You can find them online. Easy just to remind yourself of what each of the generic drones do, because you'll see them in things like incursions as well, like in those every 5th room, so you want to know. And then the maps do change. I'm not going to go through every single change on the map, but the minis do change every week between Mr. Fantastic, Emma Frost, and Guillotine 2099. If I'm going against Mr. Fantastic, I like Aegon, someone who can remove his debuffs and can avoid his evades. For Emma, I like to bring a armor break champ, and for Guillotine 2099, also usually a good cosmic, or Aegon does just fine. If you're running Alliance Quest Map 5, your two options are whether or not your team is going to set up all the paths for you, or are you going to be running it freestyle. Either way, you kind of want to bring in a champ that is double immune as backup, because in either phase, in like section 2 and section 3, and even in section 1, if you go up against a champ that has bleed or poison, you just want to be able to, you don't want to get stuck as that one guy who didn't go on a path, and the last path open is a bleed path with heal blocking or poison and heal blocking. In like section 2, there's one on either end, and so always bring a double immune. That's always the easiest way to go. I love to bring Aegon on both my accounts, because after I ramp him up in section 1, even if I were to get stuck taking the bleed or poison, he'll be able to remove it right away, and then I can just play it normally. So I do like to, that's why I like to run Aegon. But I also like to bring someone specifically as a counter for the minis, and specifically in this case for this season with Apocalypse as the boss, I bring a robot. In my case, I bring Guillotine 2099. I bring her on both accounts. I have a strategy where I really only use her for one fight if I have to, sometimes a couple, but make sure that I always have a fight left over with her special 3. So here you can see phase 1 has 8 paths, 2 on the left, 3 on the middle, and 3 on the right. So what I like to do is I always go up the middle first if no one's gone into the map. The left side usually needs 2 people on the far left path in order to clear it, but I find the 3 paths on the right usually take a long time. Nobody goes there, so I'm going to go to that side. So I cleared the middle, so if 2 more guys come in the middle, they don't need to wait for anybody, no link nodes. I'm going to go down the right, and I'm going to go up 1 here, and then then back towards the right, and that will pretty much clear up the paths for the right side of section 1. And again, I'm just going to go in here, and this is an opportunity with Guillotine 2099. Go take my first fight, and I'm going to go ahead and finish with a special 3, and then I think in this case I did have to do another fight and then finish with a special 3 again, but ideally most rounds I just do one fight, finish with when he gets to 5%, finish with a special 3, so I'm ready to have my 100 combo when I get to the boss, which we'll see at the end. So there I finish with special 3, and we're good to go. So the next fight I've got on here, so again I'm just going to continue into the middle, like we're into the middle of that right side down towards the far right, and just clear up the clear that section. So ideally you don't want to double up any paths in any section unless all the other paths are cleared. There are 8 paths in each section, and there are 10 guys ideally playing Alliance Quest, so you got 9 other guys with you, and you do not want to double up paths. So if If your team gives you a path and you set up your paths, obviously you try and take the path that you're assigned to. When you're going freestyle, then don't double up anything. Always take the empty path. Even if you think that there's a path that you can clear, and you think that, okay, that someone's going to get that one, like on the left side of section 1, on the far left, you need 2 players. On the second path, or path 2 on section 1, it's really easy to clear it. So maybe you think, okay, fine, I'm going to go there, but if nobody takes that section 2 path, and you've doubled up on section 1 before someone's taken, or path 1 before someone's taken path 2, then it just gets very frustrating, and you end up waiting, and you want to clear Alliance Quest as fast as you can. So again, I'm going to go down here, and I just had some fun here with Longshot against Mr. Sinister here. I noticed trying this the other day that if I drop his special 2, even though he takes a ton of damage from the incinerates, if he throws that incinerate back onto you, you barely, there's like no damage back. So even though it's a big damage that you put on him, if he throws it back on you, you don't get much. So I think we should see that here. So that incinerate is actually, even though it causes him a lot of damage through like whatever buffs and whatever, the actual amount that if he throws it back onto me isn't actually that much. See, he took a bunch of damage, but I get a few ticks. It's nothing. So it's great. So he actually works quite well for Mr. Sinister here. I'm definitely speeding up these fights. I'm trying to show as many of them as I can, just so you get a sense of what you got to do for Alliance Quest. So, but again, I like to build up Aegon. He just works really well for the boss, because we got Mr. Fantastic this time, which I didn't end up getting a chance to take. People took it before I got there. I did ask them if I could take it, but well, that's okay. That's fine. If you're not assigned to the boss, then let the person taking the boss, or who's assigned for it, or who's normally good at taking it, let them take the boss. Don't waste your champs on the minis if you don't think you can handle it. Also, let's just see some other champs that are really nice for Alliance Quest. I do like ramp up champs. So someone like Aegon, someone like Morningstar, Cull, Obsidian, Corvus is great. So anyone, I do love a ramp up champ, because also someone with some healing potentially can be really good. So those are some ideas of champs you want to look to bring in. There are so many versatile champs that you can bring in these days, you know. So but again, you want someone sustainable. If you're going to be taking a lot of fights, if you're going to be trying to take the bosses, then you want someone that you don't want to be wasting you know, resources on map 5 Alliance Quest, ideally. You know, sometimes I play terrible and I KO all of my champions. I'll face a domino and I'll just get wrecked, and then I'll heal up and I'll still make it through, and I'll use a few potions or something, but that's fine. But for the most part, I don't want to spend any items in Alliance Quest. Now here, I don't suggest doing this unless you have a ramp up champ that you feel comfortable with. Here I'm just taking, this guy still has the node on, but I've got energy, and again, I want to finish Alliance Quest as fast as possible, so if I can take him with only like some extra, he just has some extra health, no other crazy nodes on him, or even if it was poison or bleed, I will take it off with Aegon, so I'll just go ahead and do that. So now we're heading on to Section 2. Section 2 also has 8 paths. It has a bleed with no healing on the far left, and poison with no healing on the far right. And, you know, I usually let other guys take that one. There's some masochism nodes. There's some interesting nodes in the middle there. I didn't go through all of them. I just like to, again, ideally you want guys who have time to clear their paths to go on the outside. I just know from experience that if I don't clear the middle, sometimes guys will go outside and then the middle gets left open a lot here. So I tend to take out the middle, and I take 2 paths in the middle between my 2 accounts. And before I go to bed, you know, at least my nodes to the boss are clear. Leaves the rest of my team can go double up on the outside paths, because it takes more energy to go to the outside than the middle. Now I can take my junior account, I can go and 2 sections of the middle paths link to each other, and the 2 sections on the outer path. One of the, I think the second last, path 2 links to link 1 and 7 to 8. So I'll go ahead and clear myself, and in the middle paths you have to clear yourself clear one, like path 5 clears path 6, and then 6 clears path 5 again. So I've already taken out one node to clear this path, and then this path will clear me back again. So it's kind of a back and forth with the link nodes. And again, I'm not going to spend the time to go through every single node on map 5. But you know, you can always communicate with your team. Communication is key. You communicate with your battle group on which path you feel comfortable with, and then so you don't get stuck. So if you don't want to have to take this domino, then don't. Make sure somebody else is prepared to do it. But speak up beforehand. That's always the easiest way to do it. Communication is key. Any group that any alliance I've ever been in, the more you communicate, the easier it is. It's when someone stops communicating and you don't know what's going on, and you have to wait for somebody at the last minute, that's when problems happen. But for the most part, it's pretty straightforward. It's not, you know, it's a little bit, it's time consuming. You know, here I'm doing, I don't like to wait for someone, so I run both my accounts in the same section usually, so that I can clear myself. And then, you know, if you have someone in your alliance that you know is going to be on at the same time as you, try and coordinate so that you're both taking your paths at the same time, so that you don't have to wait for each other, or else it can be a pain. So here I took this Mr. Sinister with Guillotine 2099, but I was playing it slow, trying to save up to a special 3, but I end up killing him before I can get the special 3 off anyways. And just go do the next fight to finish with a special 3. I don't think I needed this this Guillotine 29 in the end, but I always want to have the backup prepared for the boss. You know, so even if you're not planned to take the boss, you know, having a couple guys who have robots who can take the boss. Now you can do APOC without a robot, but it's a giant pain in the butt, because then you don't want to let him get to his you don't want him to get to 4 charges, and then he can stun you on when you're blocking his light attacks, and that's awful. That happened not too long ago. I had to go in and I was able to finish him for the down to maybe 5% or something with my 2 Guillotine 2099s, because someone had gone in with the and had lost to him with a non-robot and brought him up to 4 charges, because he starts the last node of a quest with 3. So that was not fun, but that's why I try and plan in advance. Here also I knew I have this MODOK, and that's why with Aegon I don't really have to worry about him. Once Aegon's ramped up, by the time I get here, he's already I don't have to worry about his auto block. So again, another reason why I like to play Aegon in Alliance Quest. It's probably where I use it the most. Right, so I take out I think that was the last node to the boss from my section, for section 2. So this is the last symbioid we've got in section 2, and then we'll head on to section 3. And there he's down. So we're going to go ahead in section 3, and section 3 also has 8 paths, and because the outer paths, again, use up the most energy, that is where I'm going to go first. And they also have the only spots that have link nodes are on paths 2 and path 7 are the ones that you want to clear, and then everyone else is free to go, and there's no other links. So I do try to take those out first if I can before the other ones. I think I jump in quickly and I grab path 2 here, because it frees up someone for path 1, and it frees up someone for path 3 and 4. done there. So that, and then I'm going to go into the middle, and this Gladiator Hulk is the link to path 1, and that previous symbioid was the link to path 2 and path 3 and 4. So sometimes I take this Aegon when he's still boosted, but I think I decided not to for this one, just not to embarrass myself in case I blow it. So here again, you can see, I think I showed the links here. So that first symbioid and the Mordo are the ones that are the same, what opposite was happened on that side. So there are 8 paths. So now I'm going to try and clear the right side nodes with my junior account. I'm going to go to the right here, clear those, and then anyone else who joins section 3 doesn't have to worry about waiting for somebody with a link node. So it's just this symbioid, and I think there's a Mordo. Again, the maps do change, like each set of alliance quests, the maps do change a little bit. So I am not going through this. You can look them up online. And always remember to scout your paths before you go. So if you have a set path scouted out, make sure you have the appropriate counters before you go in. And always try to again, if you're going freestyle, I always try to go links first, or paths that are going to use up a lot of energy, and makes it so much easier for everybody else. And if you go in, use your energy. Lots of times I used to see guys who'd come in and they would, go in, move up one spot, and just sit there for hours. So if you're going to go in, and if you want to, coordinate like the best way, then you can, have a guy who, like in section 1, you can have a guy go to path 2, use his energy first, because path 2 is short, and it lets the guy going path 1 have an easier time. Same thing on the right side. If somebody's going to be going down that little dip on the bottom right side of section 1, have him go first, and then let somebody else take the path that I went in this one, so it clears up everybody else. So a little bit of coordination goes a long way. So here also, I'm just because I've got the energy and I've got Aegon here, I'm going to take this guy noted. So even though he's got a bunch of extra health and attack, I'm not too worried with Aegon here. I definitely take a ton of chip damage throughout the Alliance quest because I'm doing lots of fights, but at least I don't. They go down pretty quickly with Aegon. Alright, so now I ran out of energy there, come back in. You can see here, there's no other link nodes other than that far right one is going to clear section 2, but pretty much everything else is linked towards the boss. So we're going to go in and we're just going to take out this these last couple nodes, even if this one is, again, this one's also linked, but with Aegon, he goes down pretty fast. If it was anything else, then I would just wait for the node to be cleared before going in and taking him out. So we'll finish off this guy, and then I think we do get to do both minis on this map. One of them is the Diablo, the other one is Heimdall, which isn't too bad, those two. There is one of the maps, I believe, probably the most annoying one, is there's an Electro. So unless somebody has a high sig Namor, or if you ramp up Aegon really high enough, like even I've got him at a couple hundred combo, but it's still not exactly enough, or someone with damage over time, like an Archangel, or even if you use Corvus at that point, because you're not going to use Corvus on the boss, Corvus, you can just hit into his block, and it doesn't matter how much damage you take as long as your glaive charges are up. You're not going to die from the Electro's damage back. So that's always a good counter there. Now I'm just going to jump into the other account, grab that Heimdall, And then we just have to, oh, we still have the void there. So we'll take this void, we'll grab the Heimdall, and then we can go on to the boss. Again, I know bringing Aegon is fun for this void, because again, even if he does get one of his debuffs on me, I'm going to be critting so hard that I can hit through the block, I'll take it off right away. So it's really easy. Okay, we'll go grab Heimdall over here. I don't know, for fun, I think I probably could have done it faster with Aegon, but just for fun, we took in a long shot, and I think we can take a combo to the face here, but that's fine. Again, with Heimdall, just be careful after he throws his special one. If he gets the true strike there, you know, only attack back in once just to see if it'll go away. If not, parry heavy and you can take it away. Sorry about those edits there, just had to get rid of some messages. But yeah, he goes down easily. And last, we've got our boss fight. So if you've seen one of my boss fights, I think I did one when it first came out. So I like to go in with Guillotine 2099. I don't use the pre-fight so that I have a chance to, you know, when I get to 15%, I heal back up a little bit as a backup. And because I don't use my pre-fights, I have the armors, so it allows me to take less damage on the block. I am not good at evading his specials, so I take the majority of them on the block. The special 2, I can dash back out of the way of his kicks, but I don't want to attempt it on the blasts. And each day, if you use the modifiers, it's going to be a slightly different fight. In this case, it's power to cower, so he's going to be gaining actually a lot of power based on your combo meter. So for Guillotine 2099, starting at 100 combo makes this a little bit tricky. So I just have to make sure that I don't give him too much extra power gain, and I keep track of getting my special 1 off to keep him power drained, which is another reason why I don't want to use my pre-fights, especially on this this day with this modifier. So I don't care even if I push him to special 3, as long as I'm going to be getting to my special 1 at the same time, then that's okay. There, get a lot of distance on that special 2, really easy to evade the kicks afterwards, and keep using that, spamming that special 1 to get him power drained so that he doesn't go to special 3. So again, back up, and then dash back out for those kicks. And I don't know, let's see if I actually get low enough to use my healing on this one. I can't remember. Again, this is day 5, so this is maxed out Apocalypse, at least for Alliance Quest map 5. It can be tricky with the other modifiers. Let's say if Doom, you need to do specific actions, and if you get a bunch of, let's say, intercepts, or using specials, or, you know, evading, you just have to make sure you know what those procs are, and when to, to get them off. But most of the time, they're not so bad. So here we go, and we don't even need our extra healing on day 5. So we get the solo, and we're done. So it makes it really easy. If you have the right counters, you communicate with your teammates, don't double up your paths, and you'll have a fun time in map 5. So good luck to everyone. I hope this is helpful. If you need anything, always put in a comment, and I'll respond to it. Have a great one, guys.